In the not-so-distant future, will it be possible for cats and robots to coexist peacefully? Perhaps even amicably? Some people think the idea of a robot living with a cat is downright dystopian. Cats are finicky, unpredictable creatures who kill other animals for fun and get a kick out of knocking stuff off of tables. But there may be hope for a robotic uprising yet, because some scientists have found that cats may trust robots more than they trust other cats. A new study published in the journal Scientific Reports looked at how domestic cats interact with a robotic feline playmate named Jia. Jia is a robot developed at the University of Kyoto in Japan. It looks like a chubby orange tabby cat, and it can move around, meow, and purr, just like the real thing. The researchers wanted to see if cats would show a preference for the robot cat over another real live cat, or over no cat at all. They also wanted to see how the cat's behavior changed depending on whether they were interacting with Jia in a neutral space or in their own familiar territory. In the neutral territory, the cats spent significantly more time investigating Jia than the other cats, or any human researchers hanging around. And when the cats were tested in their own homes, they showed a similar preference for the robotic kitty. Cats spent more time sniffing Jia than they did sniffing either another cat or a human. They also spent more time actively playing with Jia than with either a human or another cat. And get this, cats spend more time playing with Jia, even when the robot cat was turned off. In other words, even though the cats could clearly tell that Jia wasn't a real cat, they still preferred the company of a robot over no cat at all. So why do cats seem to prefer robots? The researchers hypothesized that cats are more drawn to Jia when it's turned off because it looks like a small animal, like a kitten or a mouse, which is something that cats hunt. When Jia is turned on, its movements are more erratic and unpredictable, which may startle cats and make them act more cautiously. In other words, it may take a cat village to raise a robot cat, but a single cat is enough to raise a robot kitten. This preference for robotic kittens over adult cats could actually help cats in the wild. Adult cats are often less tolerant of kittens than kittens are of adult cats, so robotic kittens could potentially serve as safe playmates for actual kittens until they're old enough to join the real cat world. This isn't the first time scientists have studied how cats interact with robots. Back in 2019, researchers from the University of Oxford and University College London published a paper describing how domestic cats respond to a robotic insect. That study found that cats would bat at the fake insect more often if it moved erratically like a real insect would, but that they only really went after it if it was small enough to mimic the size of a real bug. These studies are cute and all, but what's the point? Why do we need to know how cats interact with robots? Well, it turns out that studying how cats play with robots can teach us something about how humans and animals perceive technology. It can also help researchers develop more sophisticated robots, especially if those robots are going to be working in environments where humans and animals both live, like our homes or offices. For example, by understanding how cats play with robots, we can develop better robotic toys for our own amusement. We can also learn how to program robots to avoid startling easily spooked animals. And by seeing how cats react to different types of robots, we can learn more about what animals might find threatening or interesting about new technology. Basically, studying how cats interact with robots lets us learn about how animals experience the world in a whole new way. And maybe, just maybe, it will help us build a future where humans, cats, and robots can coexist. Because if we can't even trust cats to get along with robots, then who can we trust? Thanks for watching this episode. If you liked it, you can turn on the love button down below to get more fun science videos.